Happy New Year, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Divers Ready, and welcome to this, the third instalment in our Deep into Dive Computers series, sponsored by Shearwater Research. My name's James. As always, thank you so much for spending your time with me. Displays. What information is my dive computer trying to tell me? I am going to be using the Shearwater Peregrine TX for this video to scroll through the various data displays and talk about the information being shown and what does it mean for you as a diver. Of course, you can apply this to most dive computers out there. Shearwater computers just tend to have more detailed data available. This video is going to be of most value to new divers and people who are about to invest in their first dive computer, or divers who have bought any dive computer but didn't read the manual. I do want to say a great big thank you to Shearwater Research for sponsoring this series of videos and for teaming up with Divers Ready to make you the best, most well-informed diver that you can be. Shearwater's goal is the same as mine. We want to make you a safer diver, and education, like having quality tools, is a key component to being safe. I was a massive fan of Shearwater products long before I had a YouTube channel, so I couldn't be happier to have them join the Divers Ready family. And as promised, one lucky viewer is going to be starting 2025 with a new Peregrine TX dive computer, complete with Swift transmitter, courtesy of Shearwater Research. More on that later in the video. I am going to be switching to my workbench so I can show you a top-down shot of the computer screens as I talk through the data displays. Let's start then with modes. The first thing to do when you are setting up a new dive computer for your first dive is select the mode. Setting the mode is you telling your dive computer what type of diving you're going to be doing. And it's very important to do this first because the mode your computer is set to will affect your other menus available. For example, if you set your computer to air mode, you do not have the option to change your O2 percentage because air is air. So you would need to select nitrox mode if diving enriched air. The Shearwater Peregrine, for example, has 4 modes: air, nitrox, 3 gas nitrox if you're diving 3 different blends of gas, and gauge mode. If you buy a technical diving computer like the Shearwater Perdix, you will get tech modes like open circuit tech or CCR for rebreather, and if you buy a watch style computer like the Turn TX, you'll get a free diving mode, sometimes called an apnea mode. Obviously you want to buy the type of computer that supports the types of diving that you do, so check which modes are offered by which models. Let's keep it simple for this run through. I'm going to set this computer to single gas nitrox and I'm going to return to the home screen. The home screen is going to look a little different out of the water as opposed to once the dive has started. Here you can see depth is 0. That's what we like here in the dive locker. It's giving you the surface interval and the battery indication, both of which will disappear once the dive starts because that data isn't necessary when you're in the water. The bottom row right now is telling you the current gas it's set to, the max depth of your last dive, and in the bottom right corner here you see T1, that's for transmitter 1. So if I had a transmitter connected to a cylinder right now, that pressure would be displayed right where those 3 little dashes are. Out of the water, NDL is obviously not a thing and there's no safety stop indicated. In the water, those will both be displayed prominently. We have access to more functions and more information by pressing the right button. You can see I've got the maximum depth of the last dive, a little bit of dive log data, how long was it and what number dive. I've got my compass, should I need to use that on land. I've got my transmitter information again. I've only got one transmitter displayed. I've got the MOD of the gas as currently programmed, my last maximum depth, and my PO2 of the gas my computer thinks I'm currently breathing. In this case 0.32 because I'm on 32%. If I keep going, I've got the current ambient temperature, I've got my conservancy settings, and my current CNS oxygen toxicity loading, which is 0 because I've been out of the water with this computer for a while now. Scrolling on from there, I've got my GF99, my surface gradient factor, and my time to surface. Oh boy! I could dedicate a whole video to each of these 3 data points, but for the sakes of everyone's sanity, I'm going to explain these displays as simply as possible for recreational divers. All 3 of these data displays are meant to help you, the informed and self-aware diver, make more sensible decisions regarding ending the dive and ascending. Time to surface is probably the easiest one. It is exactly what it sounds like. If I decided to thumb the dive now and go up, how many minutes would it take me to get to the surface safely? SurfGF, or surface gradient factor, is a single number percentage of how close you're allowing yourself to get to your M value line, the point at which bubble formation becomes problematic. The lower this number, the further you are away from problem-causing bubbles. If you are tired, stressed, or doing lots of dives per day, this can help a diver choose between a 3-minute or 5-minute or even longer safety stop, because lowering this number means lowering the residual dissolved nitrogen in your tissues that you surface with. Stated as simply as possible, GF99 shows in real time what the nitrogen in your body is doing. Is it going into solution? Is it doing nothing? Is it coming out of solution? This can display on gas as you start the dive. You're going down, you're on gassing, you're taking nitrogen onto your tissues. It can display 0% if you are at the point of saturation for the depth that you're at, meaning you are neither on gassing nitrogen or off gassing nitrogen, and then show a percentage as you start to ascend and decompress. The higher the percentage, the greater the difference between your dissolved nitrogen tissue pressure inside your body and your ambient pressure. Now, the higher this number is, the faster nitrogen is coming out of solution, and therefore the greater the risk of DCS. That number needs to show something as you ascend because you need to release nitrogen. It's one of the core principles of scuba diving. But you don't want that number so high that you're increasing your risk of problem-causing bubbles forming in your body fluids. Tissue saturation bar graph shows exactly what it sounds like it shows. It's a visual representation of how your tissues are on gassing and off gassing. Then you come to your battery information, your surface pressure, weather dial, barometer, date and time, your computer serial number if you need to reference that, and then back to the home screen. Again, way more information than the average recreational diver will ever need. So that's the basic home screen functionality. Now is probably a good time to take a quick break and announce our giveaway, and it is a huge one. One Divers Ready viewer is going to start 2025 with a brand new Shearwater Peregrine TX dive computer and Swift transmitter, courtesy of Shearwater Research. To enter to win, you need to do 3 quick things. Number 1, give this video a quick like. Leave a comment on this video as to where you would take your new Peregrine TX if you won. And 3, follow the link in the description to the sign up with your email. One lucky winner will be selected at random at the end of the contest and contacted by email. Good luck to everyone who enters. Now, let's go through the main menu on this Peregrine TX. From the home screen, using the left button to scroll, that brings you through the main menu. Each item in the main menu, once selected, will take you into a series of submenus to view data and change settings. Your first option is turn off your dive computer. I don't want to do that right now. Keep scrolling. Define gas. This is where you program your nitrox. If I go into define gas, I can change the percentage of the gas in my mix. If I had multiple mixes, if I was in the 3 gas nitrox mode, I could change all 3 here and toggle gases on and off. Dive setup, 4 functions here. Your NDL dive planner to plan your subsequent dive. Your brightness adjustment, should you need that. Vibration on or off, do you want vibration alerts? And also a function to test the vibration to make sure it's working. Dive log, if you want to view your log on your computer. I prefer personally to download my logs to my phone for easier viewing, which brings us to start Bluetooth. So to connect to your phone's Shearwater app, you initiate Bluetooth here, pair it to your phone, and hey presto, you can transfer your dive log onto your phone and view the data there. System setup is where you can select your mode and from there make a ton more personalization selections for what data you want displayed on your dive screen and where do you want that data. You can set your conservatism, your date and time. You can pick your units. Do you want to be in imperial or real units, metric, and tons more settings. On the subject of conservancy, I cannot stress this enough. Big point here, guys. Unless you thoroughly understand gradient factors and how they affect your dive, please do not use the custom gradient factors option. Choose one of the 3 set options, low, medium or high, I think they are. Please, I beg of you, you could seriously hurt yourself if you don't understand what the gradient factors are doing to your dive profile. And then back to the home screen. Again, I want to thank our sponsor for this video, Shearwater Research, and you, ladies and gentlemen, for choosing to spend your time with me. If you enjoyed this video, if you learnt something from it, give it the old thumbs up, consider subscribing if you haven't done so already, and do not forget to enter our giveaway for your chance to win a Peregrine TX dive computer with Swift transmitter. You're not going to want to miss out on that. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. That is your breakdown of dive computer displays. Thank you ever so much for watching. Until next time, dive safe, dive often.